9 hats to pass out, so we'll get them passed out now. And please make a contribution. With that, Mr. Chairman, I second the nomination of Mike Osborne to be the Republican candidate for Congress for the 9th Congressional District.
Any other statement speeches? Everyone else? Is there any other nominations? Hearing none, do I hear a motion that we nominate Mike Osborne by acclamation? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Candidate Osborne?
Thank you very much. I'm honored, and I say that from my heart. I am honored to be a candidate for Congress, the 9th District. Patrick, thank you very much. Here's a valiant warrior. It's gone on before me, blazed the trail, and I'm going to rely very much upon Patrick and Joe Barton, who I sat down with last week for advice and for direction. I am excited and thrilled about the potential that has been explained already that we have here in the 9th District. This is Memorial Weekend. I think it's fitting to tell just a little story. One of my favorite stories of all time, World War I. Sergeant Alvin York found himself in a very difficult situation. He was in Germany, fighting for his country. He found himself pinned down by machine gun fire behind the enemy lines. Many of his fellow comrades had already fallen and were injured. And he had a decision that he had to make. He was faced with a very crucial decision. Do I lay low and play it safe? Or do I risk my life, risk my all, and charge this hill for the good of my comrades, for the good of my country? He made that decision, and he chose the latter. He chose to rise, to charge the hill. He actually took out the machine gun batteries that were located there and almost single-handedly captured over 100 German soldiers. I relate that story because this is Memorial Day. We have many, many valiant men to remember that have gone on before us, that have given their lives for us to preserve the freedoms that we enjoy here today. But I also share that because that very succinctly sums up my heart and my desire. People ask me, why am I running for Congress? Well, I found myself, my friends, my family, my faith under attack. And I was faced with a decision. Was I going to sit back and play it safe? Was I going to sit back and do nothing? Was I going to sit back and say nothing? And I have made that decision. And I declare to you here today, I have made the decision to charge that hill, to take back this country. And I don't make this decision for personal gain or glory. That's not the issue. Another illustration comes to mind. It's a little shepherd boy out in the went out onto the battlefield. And as he approached the battlefield, he heard the taunts of a giant. Now let me tell you about this guy. This guy was undefeated, a champion, a warrior from his youth who had never lost a battle. And he was speaking forth challenges and defying David's team, the armies of the living God. And little David was faced with a decision. The decision that he faced was a great challenge. We all know that. And yet he took the challenge. He stepped up and said, I will indeed take this challenge. And they asked David, they said, David, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And little David said, is there not a cause? Isn't there a reason? And I pose to you the same question here this afternoon. Even though we come from different backgrounds, some of us different areas, different things that we would call our issues, our causes, our reason for fighting. I ask you the same question that David asked. Is there not a cause? When we in the 9th District have the highest unemployment rate in the entire state and the lowest pay in the entire state, is there not a cause? When we've got 6 vacant shell buildings in the coal fields, as well as 53 additional vacant buildings that once were factories and other thriving businesses, I ask you, is there not a cause? A reason for us to stand up and fight for what we believe in. A reason for us to stand up and say, things need to be done differently. I think that there is. And if you agree with me, let me hear from you as I mention these causes. With our First Amendment rights under attack, prayer and Bible in school, prayer in school unconstitutional, even though it was historically the foundation of this nation, they declared unconstitutional. Bible reading in school, unconstitutional. Allowing localities to post the 10 Commandments, it's unconstitutional. Wow! This same court has decided that a woman's constitutional right has to guarantee her the ability to deliver a baby 3/4 of the way with the express purpose of killing that child, and that is her constitutional right. I ask you, good people of Southwest Virginia, is there not a cause, a reason to stand up for what we believe in and what you believe in? With law-abiding citizens having their livelihoods threatened with punitive legislation, is there not a cause? With the Second Amendment, our Second Amendment rights under attack, let me hear from you, is there not a cause for us to stand up and defend our rights? I think there is. With the tremendous educational needs that we have here in the 9th District, many of them going unmet, with a nation that has its military weakened, has had its military weakened through policies such as don't ask, don't tell, and women pushing for women in combat, and we still lack a nuclear defense system that can protect us against incoming nuclear attack. I ask you, is there not a cause? With our seniors lacking prescription drug coverage and under a failing Social Security system, and most younger people never expecting to see a penny of the money that they're paying in now. Is there not a cause? With 9th District veterans, here at Memorial Day, having to travel 2 hours, some of them, to get to a hospital for the kind of care that they need. And oftentimes it's not the kind of care that they deserve. I ask you, good people of Southwest Virginia, here Memorial Day weekend, is there not a cause for us to stand up for what is right? I think so. And I think we agree. What do we have to fight for? There are reasons for us to stand up and fight. But what do we have to fight for? How about our families? As was mentioned earlier, Mr. Hurley said the most important thing to him in the world is his family. I'm a married man, 15 years. I've got 3 children. I love my family. I love Southwest Virginia. Bristol and several other counties in Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee recently were designated All-American Region status. And I think that term could very easily be termed for the entire 9th District of Virginia. We have a great place to live, and I want to keep it that way. And unless we speak up concerning the moral issues, yes, indeed, that's part of the responsibility of the Congressman, to deal with the moral issues rather than sticking our head in the sand or wearing a paper bag over our head and ignoring these problems around us. They must be dealt with. There are many other things that I could say in sake of brevity. Let me just point out, I handed out a book. Many of you asked me, why are you doing this? It must be an expense to you. The book's entitled, Character is the Issue. If you didn't get one, you'll be able to pick one up back there at the table. It's written by Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee is governor of Arkansas. Now, we're all familiar with Arkansas. We're familiar with some of the corrupt politicians that may or may not have come from Arkansas. And we can realize possibly why Mike Huckabee struck a bell, struck a chord with the voters in a strongly Democratic state and became the governor. He was a former Baptist minister. I myself am an ordained minister. I served with Lester McKinnon here in Bristol as his first assistant pastor. I think that we, as well as Mike Huckabee, can win. I've written a little note inside, and I want to stress this. We can win Oz. The first thing I'd like to stress about that is we. It's not me. This is not about me. This is not about me. This is about us. It's about us doing what is right. It's about us, as Patrick has said, putting someone up so that people can compare side by side and make a choice and voice their freedom to vote for a candidate of their choice. We can win. And let me talk to you on a personal basis. This may not be the right thing to say. I don't know. I've not passed this way before. But I've sensed an awful lot of family-like atmosphere in the 9th District. Oftentimes in the family, you've got problems, you've got divisions, you've got controversies. But the fact is, families pull together as a family. That's what a family is all about. And teams that play together as a team play much better. I cannot win this election alone. I realize that. I need your support. And we can win if we work together, if we support one another. I'm willing to take on this challenge. I'd be honored to be your candidate. And I want you to know that I'll owe no one but God and the good people of the 9th District if I were to be elected the next congressman. So I thank you for the opportunity to share with you my heart. God bless you, and thank you very much.